Well, is it still going down?
Yes. Midnight tonight.
You sure you don't need a spy to keep an eye out for Mr. Wiley?
It's so late at night, and it's been such a long day. I think we'll be safe.
Okay. Good luck, Cadence.
Susie changes into pajamas, but I keep my day clothes on. We turn off the light and climb into bed. I lay awake for a long time, staring at the ceiling and listening to Susie's breathing slow. Around 11 p.m., I hear footsteps pass by outside our door. Could it be Mr. Wiley, patrolling to see if we're all asleep like good little children? The thought makes me shiver. By the time midnight rolls around, all is quiet. With the stealth of a cat, I slip out of bed and tiptoe to the door. As I leave, I make sure to lock it behind me. The lights in all the windows are off. Everyone is asleep. I look in the direction of Mr. Wiley's cottage, but the trees are too thick to make anything out. Still, if he had a light on, I think I would see it. I'm safe to begin my trek. We hope. Camp Bearpaw seems darker than ever, even more so than the night before. At least I knew my friends were moving about the forest then. Now it's only me on my way to meet Samuel. A tiny, scared voice at the back of my mind whispers, "What if he doesn't come?" But I know he will. As I step out of the woods, a fierce rustling makes me jump. I look around wildly, only to realize the sound is coming from above. Squinting into the trees, I see the silhouette of a large bird. Two bulbous eyes peer at me unblinkingly from the shadowy branches, and I suppress a shudder.
Hey.
Yeah!
Sorry. Didn't mean to scare you.
No, it's fine. I was having a staring contest with an owl. I go to point, but the owl suddenly spreads its wings and takes to the air. It sweeps over our heads and past the fence, its flight unnervingly silent. We watch it go until it vanishes among the distant trees.
Wish we could get out of here that easily.
We might be able to. Side by side, we set off for the radio tower. Ooh, new background. Oh no.
What's wrong?
What if it's locked?
Only one way to find out.
Together, we head up the stairs. Samuel tries the door. It opens, and we both let out a huge breath I hadn't realized I was holding. He smiles at me.
Smooth.
Ladies first.
I hope that being unlocked doesn't mean Wiley's in here, and that he just forgot to lock it. I've never been inside a radio tower. I don't know what I was expecting. Samuel and I walk slowly up a dark staircase, our footsteps echoing off the walls. A chill crawls up my spine, and I resist the urge to take Samuel's hand, to make sure he's still with me. I tell myself we're safe here. Mr. Wiley is fast asleep. Nothing can get in or out of the camp. We are safe. We can do this. We step into a cramped room. There's not much here. A few machines, a table, some boxes. My heart sinks as I look around the sparse room and wonder what to do next.
What's that?
Samuel points to something on the table. It's a small black box with a number of antennae poking out of it. We approach cautiously. There's a small blinking red light on it, as well as a power switch. It's set to on. Is that a bomb?
No! No, definitely not.
Sorry, I'm just really nervous right now. Samuel takes my hands in his, rubbing the knuckles soothingly with his thumbs.
Don't worry. We're gonna be fine.
Nothing will happen to you as long as I'm here.
Oh. I smile shakily. He lets go of my hands and turns back to the black box to observe it while I continue to cling to his words, letting them calm me.
I think this is a cell phone jammer.
He picks it up and turns it over in his hands.
If that's what it is, it would explain a lot. These are used to cancel out the communication between our cell phones and radio towers.
I remember hearing a story about a man who used one of those to block people using their phones while driving, but he blocked emergency calls while doing so and wound up in deep trouble.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're illegal.
I can't believe this. Why would Mr. Wiley actively prevent us from contacting our families?
I don't know, but we suspected he was up to something for a while, didn't we? Now we have proof. Did you bring your phone? I forgot mine.
Samuel, how could you forget your phone at a time like this? I pull my phone out of my pocket and check the screen. Still no signal.
Ready.
I'm going to turn this off.
I take a deep breath, cross my fingers, and nod. Face set with determination, Samuel flips the switch to off. I don't dare breathe and keep my eyes glued to my phone. 5 seconds pass. 10. Then, a signal. My head whips up and I shove my phone in Samuel's face, thrilled beyond belief. It worked!
We did it.
We're going home! I don't quite know what happens next. One moment, I'm bouncing up and down with the phone in my hands. Samuel's arms are around me. Oh, okay! Sure, why not? Let's do it now. Yay! Maybe you guys should make the phone call first before this, but you know what? I'll allow it. Then suddenly our lips are pressed together. My phone is no longer in my hands. Instead, I'm gripping the back of Samuel's shirt. One of his arms is wrapped around the small of my back, pulling me close. I feel his other hand on the back of my head, twining his fingers through my hair. His kiss is full of passion. The same passion I see in him when he plays his saxophone. That's quite a good-looking kiss, by the way. Finally, this unspoken thing between us has been made clear. I no longer have to wonder. With one kiss, all of my fears and doubts are chased away. I trust Samuel. It's as he said. Nothing bad will happen so long as he is by my side, and I will look after him as well. As we slowly pull away from one another, I'm overwhelmed by emotion. Words burst from me before I can stop them. I know what happened to you last spring. You do not! You do not! Oh, girl. I know what you lost and how that hurt you, but I want you to know I'm not going anywhere. I care about you. I'm going to stay by your side and make you smile every day that I can. I'm blushing harder than ever before at my declaration. The words sound silly spoken aloud, but I want him to know how I feel. I want him to know that he doesn't have to be alone all the time, that I'll chase away his sadness, or even share it with him if that's what he needs. However, Samuel lowers his gaze and becomes quiet. I wait for him to speak, standing on pins and needles.
How do you know about that?
Peter mentioned it. I put the pieces together. He says nothing. He said, it happened at the May Fair last spring after your performance with the jazz band.
That's right. Peter and I had stepped away to grab a snow cone. A vendor had parked their ice cream truck at the top of a hill, but they forgot to put the brake on. The truck came rolling down the hill. It crashed right into where we had been playing moments earlier.
My heart goes cold. Samuel brings one hand to his pained face as he recalls the scene.
It happened right next to me. I was only a few feet away, but there was nothing I could do. If only I had reached out, been a little quicker.
He chokes on his words. I hug him tightly, feeling tears rise in my eyes. How hard it must be to watch someone you love torn from you right before your eyes. No wonder Samuel is in so much pain. I can't even imagine. I struggle to find words of comfort. I know it's easy to blame yourself, but what if you had gotten hurt, Samuel? You could have died. Imagine how your family would have felt if they had to lose you that day.
I know, but it was so hard to take the look on my grandpop's face when he found out what happened.
Your grandpop?
Yes. It originally belonged to him.
I knew it was a saxophone! Oh, it sucks, your poor grandpa's saxophone. And this is why you get the story from the source, Cadence, and you don't make assumptions about things. Ugh. I release Samuel and pull back a little bit confused. Wait, are we talking about the same thing? Samuel's eyebrows knit together quizzically.
I don't think so.
What are you talking about?
Your girlfriend that was hit by the truck. Samuel blinks slowly at me.
It wasn't my girlfriend. It was my saxophone.
Yep. What? This whole time I've been thinking that you were in love with a girl who died.
No. Did Peter tell you that?
No. This is why communication is important, I guess. The more you know.
It was my grandpop's saxophone that he passed down to me. It played beautifully. Despite its age and use, it was still in pristine condition. I treasured that saxophone, but I left it sitting on a chair. The snow cone stand was right there, I thought. I'll be back in a minute.
He closes his eyes, cringing.
I can still hear the sound of the wheels tearing it to pieces.
When Samuel admitted that it was his saxophone that got hit by the truck and not a person, I had almost laughed aloud at the comedic misunderstanding. But now I see this doesn't really change anything. He loved that saxophone dearly. As if reading my thoughts, Samuel opens his eyes and looks at me.
I know it may seem silly to some, but that saxophone had a legacy. It meant so much to me and my family. It played like no other saxophone. When my grandfather passed it down to me, he told me how proud he was, how I was going to carry on the torch he had put down so many years ago. And now that his saxophone is beyond repair, that torch has burnt out.
No, it hasn't.
Huh?
It's not your saxophone that's one of the best players in the marching band. It's not your saxophone that landed gigs at a club or made it to state jazz band. That was you, Samuel.
But ever since it...
Listen to me. I can only imagine how dear your saxophone was to you. I'm sure it represented so many things to your family. Hard work, lost passion, hope for the future. It's special. It has a history and a legacy tied to it that many instruments go without. But more than that, you are your grandfather's true legacy, Samuel. You are the one who picks up an instrument and breathes life into it. You make the music. And I noticed, ever since I met you, that your music comes from deep within you. You may have lost your saxophone, but you haven't lost your skill or your passion. You may think you have, but you're wrong. Anyone can see that just by watching you play. You are doing what you were born to do.
But... I can't play as well as before.
No kidding! Because you're on a crappy school saxophone. That thing can't even begin to handle your talent. But one day, I know you'll be able to play on a saxophone that's worthy of you once again.
My family isn't in a place where we can afford a new saxophone right now.
I understand. If I could snap my fingers and make everything perfect for you, I would. But life doesn't work that way. It's going to take a while for you to get back on your feet. Sometimes you might want to give up altogether. Oh, he's got tears in his eyes. Samuel! I smile at him gently. But once you fight through and come out on the other side of this, imagine how much stronger you'll be for it. Samuel hugs me suddenly, fiercely. His grip is so crushing it takes my breath away.
Thank you.
Thank you for finally believing me when I say that you're amazing.
I'm not even half as amazing as you.
He releases me. For a moment, we just stand there and smile at each other. Then... Oh my gosh! I completely forgot that we came here with a job to do! Yes, probably a good idea.
You're right. We've got some calls to make.
I spot my phone and the cell phone jammer both on the floor where we flung them. Oops! Luckily, my screen is unscathed. I pick up my phone and hit the call button. My finger hovers over the number pad. Who should I call first? Home or the police?
Doesn't matter.
Up to you. We've got time for both.
We're assuming a lot with that. I mean, we spent quite a bit of time having a heart-to-heart, you know. Okay, then first I'll call... I think in this situation, it's dumb to call home, just in the off chance someone doesn't answer after midnight, first of all. Second of all, they're going to be in a panic because they haven't heard from you probably in a few days. So, yeah, I would call the police. 911. My fingers shake slightly as I dial 911. I've never had to call the police before. I hope they take our plight seriously. Taking deep breaths to suppress my anxiety, I lift the phone to my ear. Why isn't it ringing? Hello? The call dropped. Interesting. I try dialing 911 again, but to no avail. The phone keeps disconnecting. It's not working. I can't get a hold of them at all.
Want to try dialing our families instead?
I hold my phone out to Samuel. You go first. I'm sure your grandfather misses you very much.
Are you sure?
Of course. I'll call my mom when you're finished.
Thanks.
Thank you, Cadence.
He takes the phone with a smile. His entire face glows as he punches in his home number, then lifts the phone to his ear. There's a short pause, then... So we can connect with home, but not with the police? Why?
Dad, I'm sorry, did I wake you? I know. I'm real sorry, I would have if I could. We've had no service here. You got an email from Mr. Wiley. We're not okay with it either. We want to go home. I said we're not okay with it either. Can you hear me? Never mind. How is everyone? What's wrong with him? What? Dad? Dad, are you there? Damn it!
I fear that something's happened to Grandpop in the meanwhile. The look on Samuel's face causes panic to shoot through me. What's wrong?
I lost connection.
He passes the phone back to me. I can tell he's trying to keep his face smooth and impassive, but all kinds of emotions broils just beneath the surface. Samuel, what did he say?
My grandpop's in the hospital.
My breath catches in my throat. No!
He had what they think was a mini-stroke 3 days ago. They're keeping an eye on him, but...
I take Samuel's hand tightly in mine. He gives it a squeeze.
Damn it, I want to get out of here. I have to see him.
Don't worry. We're getting out of here, Samuel, as soon as we can.
Here, your turn.
He passes my phone back to me. Are you sure you don't want to try calling your dad back?
Nah.
You give it a shot.
Eager to hear my mom's voice, I open up my contacts list and punch my home number. She won't be happy being woken up after midnight, but hopefully she'll be too ecstatic to hear from me to care. The phone rings 4 times. On the 5th ring, right before it goes to the answering machine, I hear the sound of it being picked up and my heart leaps.
Hello?
Mom?
Cadence?
Mom! I start jumping up and down with joy. Just hearing the sound of her voice makes me feel like I'm home. It's me! I miss you so much!
I love you so much.
Oh my gosh, I miss you too. It's great to hear your voice. When are you coming home? And why on earth are you calling me in the middle of the night?
Sorry, the service here has been non-existent. We only just got it back. I nearly mentioned the cell phone jammer, but decide not to. My mind is racing. As for when I'm coming home, I have no idea. I think Mr. Wiley plans on keeping us here forever. Can you and the rest of the parents come pick us up? Static, I knew it. Mom?
Honey, I'm almost hearing you.
What?
Can't you say that again?
You're breaking up.
Ask if you say that again.
I asked if you and the rest of the parents could come pick us up. I think I lost her. It's convenient that the signal only breaks out when you're asking to leave.
Even without the jammer, the signal out here has always been pretty poor.
Yeah. What is it?
Uh-oh.
I have a bad feeling. I don't think we should hang around here much longer.
We can always try tomorrow. Maybe someone else's phone will have better luck. Or Tom could figure out a way to get a better signal.
Why Tom?
I don't know. Since he's good at video games, I guess I figured he'd be good at technology in general. But now that I say it out loud, it sounds stupid.
You're fine. Let's say we head back to the lodge.
Oh, I agree. Let's get out of here. We leave the jammer where we found it. Did you turn it back on, or...? As soon as we step outside, Samuel slips his hand easily into mine.
I'll walk you home.
Thanks. Home?
I'll walk you back.
My heart flutters in my chest as Samuel and I walk side by side through the camp. I think back to our kiss and suppress a grin. I wonder what Susie would say if I told her.
Any signal on your phone?
Oh! Let me check. With my free hand, I open up my phone. Still 0 bars. I don't think he even needed that jammer in the first place.
It's pretty creepy that he even had it on him in the first place. Like he came here with the intention of trapping us.
That's a good point. Because even though it's like partway into band camp, he got the news that band was just being canceled. Why did he bring a jammer with him on the trip? I shudder at the thought.
Well, here we are.
I smile up at him. Today was insane. We'll get a good night's sleep tonight.
That we will. Well...
He leans in close and presses a soft kiss on my cheek.
See ya.
Good night, Cadence.
My breath catches in my throat. I try to return his farewell, but only can manage a stiff nod as he departs into the night. Susie is fast asleep when I enter the room. As quietly as I can, I get dressed and brush my teeth. Then I climb into bed, still smiling. Despite our current predicament, I can't bring myself to think about the cell phone jammer or Mr. Wiley or anything else because this girl got her first kiss. When I close my eyes, all I can see is Samuel and the look on his face right before he kissed me.